Now it's time for little fantasy football week. Is it 9 already, Dane?
Week
Dave,
8.
week
Well,
9?
week 9, yes.
Well, there you go. There you go. So looks like we're almost halfway through the season here, my man. How you doing?
Pretty good. It's a little crazy. I can't believe it's flying by already. There's a lot of surprises, too. That we'll get into some of the surprise injuries this week, but there's going to be quite a few changes at quarterback due to some of those injuries. But first, I'll get into the bye weeks, which is going to definitely affect everything as well this week.
Yeah, what's going on? So 4 teams, right?
4 teams this week. We got the Broncos, first team who upset the Chiefs this past week, which I couldn't believe. One of the first shockers this week. Russell Wilson's on bye. Javonte Williams, Jerry Jeudy, Sutton's on bye as well. Those are going to be the main guys from the Broncos. Lions will be on bye next week as well. Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, and then David Montgomery. Those are going to be the main guys. And Sam Laporta, who's actually been the, I think, rookie of the year right now at tight end, who I love. And then we got the Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence, Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk, Travis Etienne. Those are going to be the main guys for them. And then probably Evan Ingram, too. He's borderline starter right now, but he's probably starting in some of your leagues as well. And then we got the 49ers. A ton of people on the 49ers. You got George Kittle, Brock Purdy. You got Christian McCaffrey. You have Brandon Ayuk. So Deebo Samuel. So there's quite a few people that on the 49ers that's definitely going to be one of the major ones this week. And the Jaguars, I'm sure a lot of people are starting people on the Lions. So those are 3 teams that are definitely hurt some people on buys this week.
Yeah, CMC pretty big there. I mean, I guess even the Broncos have some guys. Russell Wilson. Some people have Jetty, but Javonte Williams for sure. Jaguars have a handful of people. ETN and definitely Trevor Lawrence. You know, some people play a few other guys there, though, a couple receivers. So nothing, not too big. But key injuries were serious this week, Dave. Kirk Cousins. We'll start with that. I mean, what a way to like almost, you know, you're possibly going to make the playoffs. You're 4-4. You beat the Packers at Green Bay. That could have been fun for you yesterday.
No, that was not a good game to watch.
No, it wasn't. Neither was the Bears Chargers either. But I mean, geez, it's like it's so ironic because he almost got traded to the Jets, where they were talking about it. Imagine 2 quarterbacks with torn Achilles at the Jets. You know,
but how better luck would they have had if they would have did that?
Yeah. Well, the trade deadline is tomorrow too, so I'm wondering if any of the big names get traded. It looks like some Washington Commanders might trade one of their pass rushers, whether Chase Young or Montez Sweat. So that's kind of interesting, but I'm not hearing like a lot of. Yeah, there's going to be some surprises popping up tomorrow, so I'm kind of excited for that. Just see what happens.
Trade deadline's always fun. And Leonard Williams got traded today from the Giants, so he went to the Seahawks today for a couple draft picks. So that was the first trade, but other than that, it's been kind of quiet today, though.
I think there's a few tomorrow, so some big ones tomorrow. Let's talk about Drake London then, out with a groin injury. That could linger for a while, so we'll see about Drake London. Thank God he went over my prop play, 54.5, and he had 55 yards yesterday. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, got that by a half a yard. Matt Stafford went out with a thumb injury, so we have to monitor him, but he's, he's a solid quarterback. So if it's anything like Fields' injury, then he's going to be out 3 or 4 weeks. So we'll see with that. One wide receiver, Devontae Parker, left with a hinge injury, and wide receiver Kendrick Bourne from the Patriots tore his ACL. And he's out for the season. So, that's a massive blow to the Patriots. I don't even know how they can be favored against anybody again. And they're favored against Washington next week. Makes no sense to me. Quarterback Kenny Pickett injured his ribs and is questionable, but he plays on Thursday, So I'm almost thinking it's a no-go for him, and Mobbing Mitch is going to play. Good old Mitch Trubisky. And then wide receiver Curtis Samuel injured his toe and didn't return to the game. But that's the main ones I have, Dave. Did I miss anything?
We have Darren Waller. He's questionable with a hamstring. He left with a hamstring issue this past weekend.
This dude's always been injured, man.
I know. He's walking injuries with China Doll, one of those China Doll players. Tyrod Taylor left the game as well. He had to go to the hospital with a scary rib injury. He's probably not playing next week. News on the injury front, though, Daniel Jones was cleared to play now. So Daniel Jones probably will start this week now as well. So you can get him back into your lineups. They're saying Daniel Jones should be back this week, which is good because they had Tommy DeVito starting last week over Tyrod, well, not starting, but playing in place of Tyrod Taylor last week, and he did not look good at all.
Oh yeah. DeVito. We'll see. I think Daniel Jones is back though.
Yep, that's what I just said. Daniel Jones will be returning.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I missed that part. I was trying to read this. Yep, Daniel Jones. Thank God, because DeVito was not good, and neither was Jaron Hall.
No, neither one of those guys were good.
But
So that's interesting to see what they're going to do. The Vikings are going to do. So I think the Vikings possibly could make some noise tomorrow on the trade deadline. They're 4-4. They started out 0-3. They're playing well. They need a quarterback. If they get a quarterback, they could possibly make the playoffs.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Jameis Winston, the rumored what the rumor is right now.
Yeah, Jameis Winston's one of those. Also, they're talking to even Kyler Murray if they want to dump that contract. Could be time. So there's a few guys out there that there's rumors about just going a couple different places. Why don't you get in our waiver wire then?
Sounds good. Guy I mentioned last week, Derek Carr. He continues to play well. 19-27 passes this past week, 310 yards and 2 touchdowns and no interceptions. So definitely add him if he's on the waiver wire. He'd be a winner for the bye week this week. Will Levis for the Titans. Ryan Tannehill still sidelined in week 8. So they turn to the rookie Will Levis. 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. And he 19-29 pass attempts he completed. So, and then DeAndre Hopkins actually had a sighting this week too. 4 or 6 targets he caught, 128 yards and 3 touchdowns. So, Hopkins plug him back into your starting lineup again this week if you need a bye week fill in. Chuba Hubbard, he got a majority of the carries this week. I know we talked about him on past podcasts, but definitely looked like he was a lead back this past week coming out of the bye. And Miles Sanders was playing this week too, but Hubbard played on 66% of the Carolina snaps, so he handled 71% of the rushing attempts as well. So he might be moving past Miles Sanders, so keep an eye on that. Definitely Demario Douglas for the Kendrick Bourne injury. Demario Douglas has been looking good as a rookie, but with the Kendrick Bourne out and Devontae Parker with the head injury, I think Demario Douglas slides into the starting lineup and could be a nice bye week fill-in, and he could be a nice sleeper this week for you guys. He's a guy trending up right now. Khalil Shakir for the Bills. Another guy who had a nice big game last week. It was a rookie last year, a second-year guy. He's been playing better and better as the years went on, and as the weeks went on as well. Another guy, Trey McBride, with Zach Ertz, the pitcher being placed on injury reserve. So that's one injury we didn't mention. He's on injury reserve now. Trey McBride will step in as a starting tight end now. He's caught 10 of 14 targets for 95 yards and a touchdown against the Baltimore Ravens defense. So he actually had pretty good numbers this past week. So that's another guy you want to take a look at as well.
Yep, totally agree. I had McBride written down. And if someone dropped Daniel Jones, try to grab him. Mitch Trubisky could be a streamer this week. I don't love him, but the Titans secondary is bad. So that could give him some points, So it's kind of looking at that. Jameson Crowder for the Commies is a good start, and Jahan Dotson is a good pickup too if those guys are available on waiver wire. Some of them, not too many, not a big high percentage owns Jameson Crowder for sure, and maybe half for Jahan Dotson. But I had most of them. I mean, if you're desperate, Jaron Hall, but I think the Vikings make some sort of move,
I totally agree 100% with that. Yeah, they have to make a move. Jaron Hall, they had Nick Mullins on injury reserve who can come back next week, week 10, but I don't even know if he's going to be the real answer for the rest of the year as well for them. I don't see Nick Mullins being the starter for the rest of the year for him as well.
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of ready to win. Their defense is playing better, so I would say just don't give the farm away for something. It's kind of like Kyler Murray. They're kind of want to dump that contract anyway. If you can somehow get him and figure something out, maybe that would do something for you because they're going to just waste their time with Justin Jefferson and some great players if they don't do something. I think so. I've heard back and forth. I see some Vikings fans don't want them to do anything and just let it rot away, but I don't know. We'll see. Darrell Henderson Jr. also did really well last week, and he's on a lot of waivers, so I like him. Let's move on to non-starters trending up. And I got Rachaad White versus a bad Houston run D. Houston's been giving up a lot of yards on the run lately, so Rachaad White's a good matchup. Jamal Williams versus a bad Bears run D is a good one, and Derek Carr versus a bad Bears D looks good. I'm almost thinking that Dave's nasty sleeper is going to be one of those guys. We'll just have to wait. Well, we'll have to wait to see what he has to say about that. Running back Gus Edwards versus a bad Seattle run D is a good play this week. CJ Stroud versus the Buccaneers is solid. Tank Dell, pair him up with Stroud against the Bucs is nice. And Chuba Hubbard against the Colts I like this week.
All right, I do like Sam Howell with the Commanders. I like him this week. I think Brian Robinson bounces back this week against the Patriots too as well. Patriots are going to be in shambles on D. They're going to definitely feel that loss of Kendrick Bourne this week, and their offense is going to sputter a little bit. I think the Commanders can win this game. They played well against the Eagles. Like I said, I called that last week that they were going to play well against the Eagles and possibly have a chance to win. They were up most of that game too.
Yeah, they blew away the spread though at the end. They had to push usually,
But yeah, I do like that matchup though. I definitely have Sam Howell trending up. I'd even start him this week. I'll be starting him in a few of my dynasty leagues, even with some buys this week. I do like Derek Carr. I like even the Taysom Hill even this week against the Bears. Taysom Hill's been actually playing well. He's a guy trending up as well at tight end, and then they give him all those other gadget plays and run plays too. So
I picked him up, and it worked great because you get all those quarterback gadgets, and it was just fantastic.
And I got Chuba Hubbard against the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts have been struggling on defense most of this year as well. I like Chuba Hubbard this week. And I do like Bryce Young too. I look for him to have a good game this week. The Raiders, I like Jimmy Garoppolo this week against that poor Giants defense. They played defense pretty well the last 2 weeks though, but I don't think that defense is really that good. I think the Jets were just that bad this past week. So I do like the Raiders against that matchup right there. And then I do like the Rams actually this week against the Packers. Packers defense has not looked good as well. And Packers have been struggling on offense with all those young guys on offense. But Matthew Stafford or whoever, Bryce or Rippon, who fills in for Stafford, I like him this week as well.
Sounds good. Let's move into busts.
All right. One of my busts this week is going to be none other than the Eagles running backs. I don't like Kenneth Gainwell or Swift against that tough Dallas D. That Dallas D just looks ridiculous. They're inconsistent though, but that this past week they just played lights out. That defense is very, very good. The Bengals defense has actually been stepping up lately too. So I'm downgrading James Cook this week against the tough Bengals D in that front four. Their run D is pretty good actually, so I'm downgrading them. Bears, I'm downgrading the running backs for the Bears. The Saints have a good run D. Definitely downgrading Rashawn Johnson and Deontay Foreman against them. I don't like that matchup for them as well. I do not like the Seahawks running backs or Geno Smith against the Ravens. Ravens have been looking good on defense as well. I'm downgrading them. And then I do not like the Titans. I don't think Will Levis has another great game like he did last week against the tough Steelers D.
All right, sounds good. So those are, interesting matchups there. Levis, he's due for some regression now. He had a great week, and playing him in the next week, sometimes it all falters. So I need to see 2 weeks in a row myself before I'm convinced with him. I got Geno Smith versus Baltimore. I don't like him against Baltimore this week. I think Geno has some issues himself. Kenneth Walker versus Baltimore too is bad. Najee Harris versus the Titans is a bust this week too, because Titans have a great run D. So I don't like Najee Harris. And to be honest with you, Dave, Najee Harris has not done it this year at all.
He's not. No, he's definitely a big disappointment this year. And he kind of faltered last year, so you kind of saw the trend even starting the game last year even.
Yep. Very true. James Cook versus the Bengals, I think, could be a bust. I know Buffalo's kind of all over the place when it comes to their rushing attack. They haven't been good. And the Bengals really, they kind of held McCaffrey a little bit in check. They, not from a passing game, but from a running back game a little bit. Raheem Mostert versus the Chiefs, I don't think is any good. And sucks to have to play the Chiefs when they come off a loss. I know they're going to London to play this game, but still, that's not the greatest matchup for Raheem Mostert. So I think it's going to be more of a passing type game, in my opinion. I have Deontay Foreman too. I don't like that as well. I'm with you on that one. So that just leaves us with what, Dave? Our sleepers. What are you going to go with today?
All right, my D-Nasty sleeper of the week. I do have him against the Bears, actually. Derek Carr. I've been hyping this guy up last week and this week. So Derek Carr is my D-Nasty sleeper of the week. You called it, Keo, but just the matchup is too great of a matchup, and Derek Carr's been balling out the last couple of weeks.
Well, that's funny because mine is Chris Olave from the Saints for the same reasons. Yeah, I'm sorry, Bears. I love you, but you stink on D. And it showed last week bad against Justin Herbert. Now you have to go back on the road and play a Saints team in the dome. I just feel like they're going to be able to run all over you. So there you have it. We are on the same side for that one, Dave. We'll see if that comes to fruition. Anything we miss?
No, I think that's it. Good luck, everyone.
Right.
Make sure you get those bye-week players out, and good luck, everyone, this week.
Yes, good luck to everyone. Thank you so much for listening to the show. If you have any questions, feel free to tweet us at the Odds Breakers. Email us at info@theoddsbreakers.com. Have a great rest of your week and go get some winners. All right, brother. Great job.
You too, man. Did you get it in time?
Yeah, I did. I got to go. But hey, next week, I think we can just do 10 p.m. your time, 9 p.m. my time, since we're changing time zones. Okay. And mine stays. So I think we'll have more time to prep and be able to watch the Monday night game then. So
I like that. I like when we can do that and kind of watch it while we're doing it and stuff. It's kind of fun.
Yep. Yes, sir. All right. Sounds great. We'll talk soon.
Have a good night.
You too. Bye.
Later.